Hello turnips and welcome back to another thrilling edition of Scam Watch, the show where we waste the time of no good scammer scum and have a right good laugh doing it. Firstly, I'd like to apologise for the irregular upload schedule on this channel. 2 kids, a full-time job and a real life make regular content like this a little bit tricky. Each video involves an email exchange that tends to range between a week and a month in time span, and sometimes it gets to the point where I want to upload but there's no content. But excuses. I have some ideas for the future of this channel and how I could be more consistent, but I'll touch on that soon. Keep your eyes peeled. Hi, Editor Jake here. Did you know that currently over 80% of the people who watch these videos are not subscribed? Why not? All you've got to do is click that little button down there and then tap on that little bell. Then you'll get notified every time that loser gets off his lazy arse and uploads a video, which, given the lack of any regular upload schedule, is a must. So go on, subscribe. There's an out to lose, is there? Is that it? That's how you're pushing people to subscribe. Well, I don't see you doing it. I could do it. Go on then. Subscribe today so you know exactly when there's a new Scam Watch video. Wow, that was straight to the point. I was going to say fucking dull, but sure, whatever you say. Look, can we get back to the video? Sure, you do you. So, as you may have guessed from the title, it's time for the next part of our gripping love story. When we last left Peter and Lisa, their fledgling spark was slowly beginning to ignite into something.
Previously on Scam Watch. Peter regenerated. Met a Swedish beauty who was actually a scammer using the picture of a porn star. She was unfazed by the very clear implication that Peter had murdered his ex-wife, Ethel. They shared their stories. They answered weird quiz questions, and then Lisa vanished. But now, witness the return of the Swede as we embark on a new journey of love, heartbreak, and discovery. Scammers in Love 2, Electric Boogaloo. Coming now.
Sorry. I'm laughing at my own joke way too much. After what felt like a lifetime of waiting, Lisa finally responded to Peter's quiz questions. Which can only mean one thing. It's time for another fabulous quiz. What is your favorite flavor of crisp?
Cheese doodles and Estrella grilled chips.
If you could be any animal, what would you be?
Octopus.
What is the
kinkiest thing you've ever done?
I'm a nurse, so I save life all the time.
I mean, I suppose a nurse having a kink for life-saving is good. Do you like cheese?
Yes.
Have you ever been to Guam?
No.
What's your favorite ABBA song?
Dancing Queen, young and sweet, only 17.
Would you consider visiting me in the UK? As in Peter, not me. I'm way too sexy.
Yes.
And that's all we've got time for in today's episode of Random Quiz Nobody Gives a Fuck About. Join us next week. Maybe. Probably not. I don't give a fuck. Good night. Victory! Not only did I get her to name her favourite ABBA song, I'd got her off script and drawn out a promise of more contact. As you'll see, pushing her for more contact in such a way that she might reveal her true nature was my play here. But Lisa didn't have time to wait for Peter to reply. Oh no, she was hot for Peter's ample charms, and so she emailed him again only 25 minutes later.
Peter, this little note has one single purpose: to wish you a good day and the much-needed peace of mind to carry on with your daily commitments. How are you doing today? Just finished eating a fresh burrito bowl. It's a combination of pre-cooked chicken with a handful of fresh, unprocessed ingredients, a healthy, delicious Mexican-inspired meal, and it tastes like heaven. OMG. You know, I sit here thinking of what to tell you about me. We've shared quite a lot in this short period of time, and I honestly want you to know everything about me. I sometimes want for my notes to sound like a live conversation while reading them.
Well, I mean, to be honest, that's a fail already. You sound more like a robot programmed to barely speak English.
I want for what we have and share between us to be firmly based on trust, affection, and promises to withstand time. I want you to also know that whenever you need me, I'll always be here, supporting and comforting you or listening to you. You know, I sometimes wonder how boring life would be if it was just work, eat, sleep, watch a little TV. You get the picture. What I'm saying is that I'm this free I have plenty of hobbies. I just love to do a little bit of everything. As you must have known by now, part of my hobbies includes writing, reading, dog walking, watching movies, cooking, swimming, gardening, yoga, traveling, amongst other things. What I feel and want for us is to be healthy. I think the world would be a much healthier place if everybody had a shoulder to cry on. To be a friend is to make the most of what the other person has to offer. It is to admit your faults, but to know how they can be bearable. To be a friend is to offer virtues with all generosity and not to put a mask or fake. It's to live in an honest and authentic way without hiding our little addictions, manners, or indifferences. That's the way I feel about us, and I hope you share the same views with me too. Have yourself a blissful day. Your lady.
Lisa, how wonderful it is to hear from you again. Thanks for answering my questions. This evening I'm sat with me cat Nigel watching NCIS. Remember I said I once played a man with a kebab? I'm watching that episode. I even had a line. Hey, Agent Gibbs, what's it gonna be? Sheesh or shawarma? I thought you might like a new picture of me. I took it just now. My smile's for you, Lisa. Do you have any new pictures I could see? Maybe we could Zoom! For my tea this evening, I had a melted milk reduction with pulverised tomato on a bed of baked dough. Yum yum. Tomorrow I'm off to do a shift at the factory. Someone's got to blow up those balloons and my assistant Alan just isn't cutting the mustard anymore. You know what they say, if you want a job doing, do it your bloody self. Besides, I've got to earn the dollar somehow. Money, money, money must be funny in a rich man's world. With love, Pete. I wanted to provide another picture of Peter. Normally these scams don't go on as long as this, and one picture's enough. Often I relish in sending multiple pictures with literally exactly the same face photoshopped onto it. I've never been rumbled yet, but Lisa was a slightly more sophisticated scammer. She put a lot of work into forming a bond with Peter, and I felt a better approach would be to take an actual photo of myself and then adjust it a bit to make myself look as much like Peter as possible. So I put it through filters, I put it through FaceApp, made myself really fat, changed my eyes to brown, played around a little bit, and that's what I came up with. It worked, she didn't notice.
Baby, here I am again, smiling all to myself. Just the sight of your name on my screen excites me, and I want to thank you for that. Cold day in our part of the world, not the best time of year from us. Plenty of mist and rain and that, name it. How I wish you were with me. We could go to dinner together, just the two of us, to a restaurant along the harbor, drink some chilled champagne and enjoy each other's company. Afterwards, we could go home. You would give me a massage and prepare a warm bubble bath and sweet aroma burning candles and rose petals floating in the water while sipping chilled wine or champagne. I certainly deserve pampering right now in my life, when all I seem to be doing is just work, work, and work. X. I'll talk to you again soon, okay? Your lady.
My dear sweet potato, the image of spending an evening with you is making me sweat buckets with excitement. If you were here, I'd plan an evening of the best entertainment. We'd spend an evening walking through the town, the smell of urine and alcohol filling the air as we talk and talk and talk. Together we'd sit in the park and look at the stars in the grey, muggy sky. When we got back to my bedsit, we'd have a cold shower, because the hot water's off at the moment, but Larry, my plumber's, coming out Wednesday to take a look at it. We'd put our feet up and watch Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, the greatest movie of all time. At the end of the night, we'd pull out the sofa bed, strip down to our socks and cuddle each other to sleep. Sound good? Thinking of you always, your Pete. And now comes the big one. Are you ready? Are you ready for the reason we're all here? The whole point of this ridiculous charade? Here we go.
Baby, it's been a really busy day for me. I came home and had to start preparing a memo for tomorrow. I'm virtually playing catch-up on some of my work activities at the moment as I spend the whole of yesterday and today at the hospital as Mum has been in critical care unit, and thanks God is a bit okay now. And I have to make order for her to start the new treatment and put her on so that what I've been busy and sorry I did send you a word to let you know. I'm currently facing some financial challenges.
This is it!
I have a project I'm handling that is taking all my finances right now.
Oh, how delightfully vague and uninformative.
But my immediate needs come from wanting to keep my mom's drug supply stocked to make sure that she does not get shortage of meds to continue her treatment.
Well, that is very noble. Your poor mam. Good thing Sweden have a public health service that caps prescriptions cost at the equivalent of $255 a year.
I just need a little week-to-week loan that I can use in restocking her meds until I can finish my project and have financial access.
Yes! Ding, ding, ding! 2 months, around 100 emails, and finally, she's got to the fucking point of this circus. Roll out the parade floats, get the confetti cannon. Victory!
Please, will you consider this senseless? Can I get any form of help from you? Of course, it's not a must, and I hope this doesn't come between us. Write me again soon. Your girl.
I thought it might be fun to ghost the prick for a few days. Let us stew.
Good evening, baby. No word from you for some days now. Is it because of the help I asked of you, or is there anything wrong that I did?
Lisa. No, nothing you've done is wrong. I can't, however, help you financially at the moment. Right now I'm struggling to pay the rent on my bedsit. Perhaps when we know one another better, I could think about lending you money. Don't consider this a slight, my darling. You can never be too careful on the internet. Peter. Lisa's tone changed at this point from one of desperation to one of annoyance.
I'm sincerely sorry if my request hurt you. Trust me, I didn't mean to do that, and I promise you I'll pay you back, okay? I made a request to help me take care of my mom's health bills. I requested that you help me with some little loans, if possible, to help me stay up to date with my mom's medical orders. I believe I told you that I have a project I'm handling, and that has crippled my income for the last couple of months.
But Peter was not about to be a pushover. Lisa, I don't know how much clearer I can be that I will not loan you money at this stage of our relationship. Even if I wanted to. I've no spare cash at the moment till my universal credit comes in next Tuesday. Don't ask me again. Now, how's about you send me a couple of pictures of yourself and tell me about your day, Pete? But Lisa was silent. The fledgling lovers having had their first proper argument. Perhaps the lack of conned money had turned our Swedish bombshell off. Who knew? A week later, Peter tried desperately again. Lisa, I haven't heard from you in a while. How are things? Pete. But nothing. Lisa was gone. Desperate to hear from her again. Peter had no choice but to suddenly come into some money and offer her a loan. Lisa, good news. This week my wife's will was finally processed. While she left most of her money to that no-good Mr. Whippy bastard, I've been bequeathed a small provision, which has put me in a much better place financially. Given your circumstances and your silence over the last 10 days, you've truly worried me, and I dread to think how you're coping. With this in mind, and considering my recent inheritance, I want to help you in any way I can. Whilst I can't offer to give you the money you truly need, I do feel comfortable with the idea of loaning you up to £250 on the proviso that you can pay me back whenever possible. I just need to hear from you. Tell me you're okay. Update me. Send me some new pictures of you and what you've been up to. I need to know your feelings for me are real before I commit. Show me how much you care, and I'll be happy to lend you 250 quid. I know it's not the amount you need, but it's the most I can manage. I hope you're well. Please get back in touch. Your Peter. Shock horror! Would you believe the promise of 250 big ones magically lured Lisa back into Peter's inbox?
Baby, I just read your message. I'm still short of words. I mean, I didn't see us connecting on this level. I used to think that finding the right one was about finding a man with a list of certain qualities. Meeting you has shown me that a healthy relationship isn't so much about a sense of humor or intelligence or attractiveness.
Cheeky shit, what's that supposed to mean?
It's about being a good person. A good person on his own and a good person with you, where the space between you feels uncomplicated and happy.
Who the fuck does she think she is? Dr. fucking Phil?
I know I can overthink sometimes, but so far you really make me happy.
Yeah, that'll be the 250 quid you've just been promised.
You know what I feel? God has got his own reasons for us to meet and come this far. But I hope what we share between us flourish beyond what is right now. Praise be to God. Your lady.
Dear Lisa, I am mad with a raging passion for you, my dear. With regards to the loan, I'm just in final discussions with my attorney, Mr. Joseph Sanusi, who is drawing up a loan agreement for you to sign. Once it's done, I will send it to you. Now, Lisa, I must ask you again, and this is really very important to me. Could you send me some more pictures of yourself, your life, maybe even a video? I feel like our relationship needs that to truly progress. I need to see more of you. Love, Peter. Now, what happened next, I was not expecting. I'd been pushing for videos and photos, but I never expected anything to come of it, But now it finally became abundantly obvious why Lisa had chosen the face of an adult webcam performer. It gave her access to a kind of video that I imagine any mark that had come this far would be more than happy to receive. I can't show you most of the video she sent me, both because of YouTube's content rules and also on moral grounds. This is an actual woman who, I imagine, has no idea her content is being used to con people in this way. But here's a small excerpt, pixelated for modesty, that I think illustrates what Lisa sent in my response to a video of herself. Now, I don't pretend to be an expert on this kind of content, but this doesn't seem particularly the kind of video you'd send to your online lover. Aside from the nudity, the rest of the video is distant. She's clearly typing out messages. This video doesn't scream, "I'm interested in you romantically." It screams, as it absolutely should, given it's taken from a professional, of someone who's performing for money. And good on her. I've nothing wrong with people who decide to work in the adult entertainment industry if that's what's right for them. What I do have a problem with is cunts who steal that content and use it to attempt to scam lovely people and lonely people out of their money. That poor woman has no idea her face and videos are being used to trick people into believing they've found someone who loves them. Think about it for a second. How life-changing falling in love is. Imagine being wholly convinced you'd found the one, and then it turning out it was a fat Mexican bloke named Pedro with a shed load of stolen porn. This poor woman is a victim of this scammer the same as Peter, and anyone else who's sadly been taken in by them. It makes me fucking sick. A few days passed and I didn't really know where to go from here. Something had changed and I felt really uncomfortable. Lisa simply said,
Good morning, and how are you doing? I was hoping to ask you, is it because of the help I asked you is why you stopped talking to me?
I wasn't 100% sure at this time that I wanted to continue. This scam was starting to feel really sordid in a distinctly unbubbly YouTube podcasty kind of way. The only way I was comfortable proceeding at this point was with a complete change of approach. This cunt deserved to be fucked up, scared, terrified. I wanted them to feel the panic someone might feel when they realise that they've been preyed upon by this absolute earth acne. So it was time to introduce a new character to the equation, and who better than popular television detective DCI Thomas Barnaby.
Dear Miss Berg, my name is Detective Chief Inspector Thomas Barnaby of Midsummer Constabulary in England. Please see my warrant card below. I am writing to you from the email account of Mr. Peter Gregor Carrickson, whom we have arrested on suspicion of the murders of his ex-wife, Ethel Bernard Carrickson, nee Inspirit, and her partner, Padre de Pfeffel Johnson. On his arrest, we seized property which we believe may be helpful in gathering evidence against Mr. Carrickson as the investigation into his alleged crimes continues. Through our investigation of his email accounts, we've discovered lengthy correspondence with yourself, including numerous in which you describe yourself as your girl and one which includes a lewd video featuring yourself. We also notice references to a project and the exchange of money. These matters are considered to be of a suspicious nature, and so we've applied for a warrant to seize your email account and IP address. Our investigation further discovered that this email is being operated from a VPS, Virtual Private Server, provided by Interserver in the United States. Despite claiming to originate from Sweden, you are in fact located somewhere quite different. Be assured, Midsummer's tech department is second to none, and already in contact with your VPS provider to determine your location. Furthermore, we've discovered that the young lady in the photos and video provided by yourself to Mr. Carrotson are that of online model and sex worker Mary Lovely For You. I put it to you, Miss Berg, that you stole pictures and video to disguise your identity in case this stream of emails should be discovered, and colluded with Mr. Carrotson to murder his wife and later her lover in exchange for the funds. This is the project you refer to in your emails. Shortly, we will discover your location, and an officer will be dispatched to extradite you to the UK, where you will face questioning before being charged with the second-degree murder of Ethel Carrotson and Padre Johnson. Please respond with your location and any documentation which may aid in our investigation, and I will be sure to push for the lesser charge of accessory to murder. Failure to comply or non-response to this email will be taken as an act of non-compliance and be charged as resisting arrest in accordance with the Police Act of 1996. Regards, DCI Thomas Barnaby.
Sorry, what? This is not right. I'm in Malmö. Malmö, Sweden is my location. No problem, but not being involved.
Dear Ms. Berg, I apologize for the late nature of this response. As you can imagine, we are rather swamped in the department as the case against Mr. Carrotson is being finalized. Further research from our cyber squad has ruled out Sweden as your location. As you know, this implies you are guilty of supplying false information in a murder inquiry. If you are located in a country with an extradition treaty with the United Kingdom, we will be applying, once we have established your real identity, to have you arrested and transferred to our custody. If you are willing to speak to one of our officers about your relationship with Mr. Carrotson, I would be happy to reconsider your role in this case, should the evidence suggest your innocence. We would like to arrange a time for Detective Sergeant Benjamin Dover to conduct a Zoom interview with you. Please indicate your availability for the next 2 weeks. We will then provide you with a room code and password to conduct the interview confidentially. Nothing you say in this interview will have legally binding status, and you will not be under oath. Please reply promptly to this email, indicating your understanding and providing the times you are available according to Greenwich Mean Time. Regards, DCI Thomas Barnaby.
And then, Lisa sent perhaps the greatest piece of poetry that has ever been written. Shakespeare could not, even in his greatest masterpieces, have hoped to rival the subtle brilliance of her divine verse.
Fuck you!
And that brings us up to now. At this point, I'm not sure if I've been rumbled or if I've just really rattled this piece of shit. I've sent one last email, this time from Interpol Superintendent Hercule Poirot.
Dear Miss Berg, this is the Chief Superintendent Hercule Poirot with Interpol. I have a warrant for your immediate arrest and extradition to the United Kingdom to face charges of espionage and conspiracy to murder. Please visit your nearest police station within 24 hours and turn yourself in. You may identify your case using case number 0009-34532. With regards, C.S.H. Poirot.
Will she respond? Who knows? If she gets back in touch before I upload this video, I'll add a little note like I did at the end of part 1. It's possible this could be the end of our Swedish love odyssey. Or it might be the beginning of a globe-trotting police action story. We'll have to wait and see. For now, This particular iteration of Peter is locked away in jail, finally paying for his wife's murder. The police are closing in on Lisa, and the powerful love that they shared can never be recovered. Thanks for tuning in, and please, don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. Scamwatch will be back soon. Cheers.
Where are those happy days when we were all so swell? You sent a naughty clip and now I'm in a cell. Whatever happened to our love? Or was it all a lie? I'm singing ABBA again, I feel like I could die. Oh, you're not here and I can hardly bear it, SOS. I'll always miss those lips, I'll never kiss now, SOS. Now you're gone, how can I even try to go on? Oh, you're gone, though I try, how can I carry on? My wife left, I was feeling bereft. I stabbed her 29 times and then she finally died. And then I shot that Mr. Whippy cunt. I shot him in his face. I did it all for you and it felt so good. So, don't ignore me, Lisa, I implore the SOS. I've still got my knife, if you value your life, answer me. I'll break free, I will sneak past the guards with a bribe. And to you, if you've watched, leave a like and subscribe. See you next month.